Progressives, this is your trigger warning. Hi, folks. Welcome back. Well. Our friends over at MSNBC. As you saw from the thumbnail, these people are delusional. So I think first it would be a good idea if we spelled out what the definition of delusional is. Let's check it out. What is delusional disorder? Delusional disorder is a type of psychotic disorder. Its main symptom is the presence of one or more delusions. A delusion is an unshakable belief in something that's untrue. This belief isn't a part of the person's culture or subculture, and almost everyone else knows this belief to be false. People with delusional disorder often experience non-bizarre delusions. Non-bizarre delusions involve situations that could possibly occur in real life, such as being fouled, deceived, or loved from a distance. These delusions usually involve the misinterpretation of perceptions or experiences. In reality, these situations are either untrue or highly exaggerated. This is almost the definition of my truth. Now we have that out of the way, let's check out the author of this opinion piece. The author here in this opinion piece is Zishan Alim. He's a writer and editor for MSNBC Daily. Previously, he worked for, now this is the key here, he worked for Vox, the Huffington Post, and Politico. Oh, there's an unbiased opinion. And he also has been published in, among other places, the New York Times, the Atlantic, the Nation, and the Intercept. Let's sign up for his free political newsletter here. I don't think I'll pass. Thanks anyway, Mr. Alim. Now let's take a look at the article. Opinion. Intellectual humility. The headline starts off, talking about oxymoron with these people. Leads us to Kamala Harris as the least risky bet. The case for Harris is about being honest about what we do and don't know. You know, I'll go through this slowly. If you want to read this part, I'm just going to skip through it and talk about politics and how it's like fun. And, you know, is at a juncture of the Democrat Party where it's very possible path is extremely risky. The moment depends on humility, and the goal is not to identify an obvious winner, which is impossible, but to manage risk. If Biden steps aside, Vice President Kamala Harris, most likely the least risky option. Oh, okay. Her presidency is marked by strikingly low favorable ratings. And then go on. I'll do it slowly if you want to read the rest of the article. And let's carry on here. By taking a cautious position on what we know, suggests Harris had fewer unknown variables in her political candidacy. Well, check out the Daily Wire. Ben Shapiro here on this website is called Shamala. It's in 3 parts. It's Shamala. It'll give you a little idea on the current vice president's background. She has been in the national limelight for years and thus has extremely wide name recognition. Well, so does a lot of people. Some I can't say because his website won't allow it. Far superior to commonly floated alternatives. Well, in that case, then, former President Trump has incredible name recognition. She has endured mega attacks for years and can be clearly handle the pressure. No, she can't. I mean, she is a horrible public speaker. Absolutely horrible. I'm just a guy that was on a local city council for 8 years here in upstate New York, and I've talked at hundreds and hundreds of meetings that were televised live, and I speak better than she does. Oh, gosh. While the president bid will most likely inspire right-wing efforts, look out, to find skeletons in her closet. What do you mean closet? I mean her entire house is filled with skeletons. Odds are the most of what could have been used against her would have been used in 2020 to torpedo the Harris-Biden ticket. Harris is so unequivocally qualified for the position with her background. I'm sorry. She is so qualified for the position with her background as Attorney General, Senator, and, of course, Vice President. Well, she was Senator for about 10 minutes. after she was the attorney general. What they leave out, though, you notice what they leave out, is she was the district attorney in San Francisco area, and all the crap that went along with it, and all the people she kept in jail, the thousands she incarcerated for having marijuana, and then turning around, they asked her if she smoked marijuana and laughed. It's interesting they left out that part of her background as attorney general, but never the district attorney. And in fact, as attorney general, she did a lot worse things. About 20 years younger than both Biden and Trump, she would instantly be able to shed Biden's greatest political liability and shift the energy of the party. No, these people are delusional. The strongest counter to Harris is unfavorable ratings during Biden's tenure. And he goes on and on and on, you know. He compared how DeSantis was supposed to be formidable, and he wasn't. And like I said, I'll go slowly if you want to read it all. What we do know is that Harris is far more battle-tested than any alternative. She looked like a dope with the vice presidential debate. Granted, Mike Pence is not the greatest public speaker. He's too polite, actually. We all know that Harris would be the strongest candidate to quell objections among Democrats that they've been disenfranchised. If Biden stepped aside and proposed an open convention, then party insiders would select a nomination for a party that's used to the direct Democratic input of the party system, which they already have. They already have. The Democrats went through their system like the Republicans did, and they picked overwhelmingly Joe Biden. My understanding, an individual to win a nomination for the Democrats needs 1,900 and change for delegates. He has more than double that. So they're willing to throw it aside because they know Biden can't win. It's unbelievable. Direct Democratic input of the primary system. Well, they had that. That selection process could be divisive. Well, of course it would. Unless, of course, everybody's given marching orders. Please don't challenge him or whoever they wanted to be the nominee, in this case, Kamala Harris. And it could mean that on election day, a lot of Democrats could end up asked to vote for a politician they never heard of or never would have cast ballots for. Oh, you're going to get some crazy people and there's a bunch of crazy Democrats, believe me, all progressives, AOC, Cornel West is on a ballot in a few states. The list is endless. What they're really afraid of is RFK Jr. That's why they want to get around the nomination process. By contrast, Harris vice president confers a unique kind of legitimacy compared to any other candidate. Millions elected her in 2020 as Biden's designated successor. And she also backed by most Democratic primary voters this year. What they left off this year, right? Democratic primary voters this year. Well, in 2020, when she stood on the stage and called Joe Biden a racist to his face, she had less, I believe it was 10 or 11%. She was doing so poorly that money was starting to dry up. And she had some internal polling, I understand, from California, where she's from, and she's attorney general there. Some internal polling that showed her she was going to get her ass kicked in her home state. So she withdrew. She withdrew from the presidency just to save face. So she's also backed by most Democratic primary voters this year. No, they didn't vote for her. We knew that Kamala could do the job because Joe Biden wouldn't last. They don't care. They voted against Trump. The fix was in. There was going to be no primary battle at all. It was basically a coronation for Biden-Harris. So they just hate Trump's guts, and they thought an incumbent president had the best chance. And, of course, maybe the average MSNBC viewer, which most of the probably delegates are, and CNN viewers, had no idea that Joe Biden was having dementia or cognitive problems. Oh, my God, we saw a debate with Trump. Oh, no, we didn't know Joe was that bad. Of course you knew. And if you didn't know, you have no business voting. And she could carry out exactly what vice presidents are most important for, stepping in to serve as president if the president is unable to serve. What a hero. Last, one factor that's almost certain is that the historic nature of the Harris candidacy would likely be to motivate women. Oh, yeah. she's real loved by women. All they're going to talk about is abortion, 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 abortion. And the left is going crazy because President Trump's position in one of the planks in the GOP convention coming up is a ban on late-term abortions. My understanding from the polls that I've seen in surveys, over 85% of the adults in the United States surveyed are against late-term abortions unless it's to save the life of the mother, period. Or sexual assault and like that, incest. They just, 85% is pretty high. You can't get 85% of a country to agree on anything, but they agree on that, and that's what they'll pound on. They took the woman's right of abortion away. No, they didn't. I was around in 1972. I was a junior in high school, and I remember when it happened. And all those years with Democrats, we go through all the presidents, had the presidency, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, and could have passed a nationwide abortion law limiting or spelling out exactly when a woman could have an abortion up to a certain period. And they chose not to. Why? Because they know that 85% plus of the nation, of the adults, especially women, believe it or not, know that it's evil and wrong to do 8-9-month abortions. Even the most adamant abortion advocate will back off on that. So they'll blame Trump. Former President Barack Obama drove record turnout among black voters. It seems likely that Harris could also tap on this special kind of energy. Barack Obama, with all his faults, and I don't like Barack Obama at all. I'm a big Trump fan, be known. He had stage presence. He was a great public speaker. And he really is, and he still is. He has charisma and stage presence. So did Bill Clinton. I mean, it's just the way it was. Ronald Reagan had that too. They had the special, and I see Bill Clinton in person. In late 2000, it was a big meet and greet for his wife, who was running for U.S. Senate. Now, I was a Democrat at the time. I sat literally right in front of Bill Clinton, 10 foot away. And when I saw him come out, some people have stage presence and some don't. Bill Clinton had it done. I'm not so sure about now, but he was a tremendous public speaker, and so was Barack Obama. You think Kamala Harris can even touch the speaking skills of Bill Clinton or Barack Obama? You have to be delusional. Accompanies excitement for symbolic victories for marginalized communities. She grew up with parents that had money. She went to special school. She went to Catholic school. She spent most of her high school in Canada going to school. Watch that YouTube video, there's 3 parts, by Ben Shapiro. I don't know if it was under Daily Wire channel or Ben Shapiro channel, called Shamala, Shamala, to get an idea of her background. Most of the other names floated for president these days could not. Neither can she. National polls for Democrats are dire these days. Well, yeah, he did one statement that's true. I have no confidence that Biden, Harris, or any of the most commonly named alternatives can pull off a win against Trump. Wow, I'm surprised he admitted that. But in a high-risk situation, it's prudent to minimize unknown variables to reduce the likelihood of a worst-case outcomes. Harris, a competent and qualified candidate who could claim Democratic legitimacy and rejuvenate the party, offers us just that. Mr. Alim, look who you used to work for. Vox, Huffington Post, Politico. You were grasping at straws. I think you're delusional, but that's just my opinion. I'm entitled to it. So here we go. What do you guys think? Intellectual humility leads us to Kamala Harris as the least risky bet. She's our best chance. I'll tell you the truth. The polls that I've seen, there's only a couple of them. Their best chance might be Michelle Obama. Honestly, if that was her, it would be a tougher race. But I don't think she's going to jump in. I don't think she is. Because right now, a lot of the blacks, I hate to put people of the same race in a category that think alike, but they don't. But the polls I've seen among black registered voters and likely voters is they're no fan of Barack Obama. Not anymore. You know, hope and change got diluted real quick. The Democrats, this is the price they had to pay for beating Donald Trump in 2020. What they should have done is what I suggested, and people, they're a lot more powerful and even smarter and more politically savvy than I said, and they laughed at him, was let Trump win his second term. The economy won't be that great because of COVID. It won't be that great, and we can blame all the people that died and all the terrible things that happened on him. And we can groom a decent candidate or several candidates. We can raise crap loads of money, and we can hit the ground running. Nope, couldn't do that. They hated him so much they had to do what they did in order to win, and I won't go into detail because his website won't allow it. Now, having done that, they're the proverbial dog, like the dog that barks and chases cars. Well, they're the dog that caught the car. Now they don't know what to do, and this is the price they have to pay. They never thought in their wildest dreams that former President Trump would run again, especially with all the lawfare and the trials and the 34 felony convictions. There's no way he would do it. He would save himself. But he said, F you, I'm doing it anyway. And now they're stuck. I wouldn't mind so much them being stuck and humiliated, but the fact of the matter is it hurts my country. It hurts the American people. It hurts people that I care for. My daughter, my grandkids. It hurts them. My son. It hurts them. They have a future here. But anyway, folks, I wanted you to show intellectual humility leads us to Kamala Harris. It's incredible. I will have to say, though, the very, very bottom, the very last paragraph, and that's why he probably put it last, because this is the only thing that brings any truth to it. And I'll read it again, and then I'll get off here. National polls for Democrats are dire these days, and I have no confidence that Biden, Harris, or any other commonly named alternatives can pull off a win against Trump. But in a high-risk situation, it is prudent to minimize unknown variables to reduce the likelihood of worst-case outcomes. I admit that's true. Not the conclusion that he draws that Harris is the most qualified candidate. They don't have any qualified candidates. That's the problem. And whether you agree with me or not, the Republicans, their bench is very deep. The Democrats, none. Who do they got? Gretchen Whitmer, evil governor from California, Newsom. Even he won't jump in because he knows it'll ruin his name. He wants to run in 2028. You don't have to be a political genius to figure it out. Would he go as a vice presidential candidate under Harris? I doubt it. He's too smart for that. It's because you're evil doesn't mean you're stupid. Who else are they going to pick? Pete Buttigieg? A first gay, openly gay. I'm so sick to death of it. I'm so sick to death of it. So we're going to have to see. But I wanted to show you how delusional these people are. It's knowing they're delusional and then seeing it in print or video is two different things. She's going to claim Democratic legitimacy, being Kamala Harris, and rejuvenate the party. Kamala Harris is going to rejuvenate the Democrat Party. These people truly and honestly are delusional. Until the next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.